Good morning, good morning, good morning to the universe, to the LinkedIn universe, the YouTube universe. Welcome to the Nudelberg Daily Huddle. We are excited to be here with you guys, as we always are, on this fantastic Thursday, ready to share content, ready to share energy, and ready to just kick the day off in the right way. Good morning, gentlemen. Dad, welcome back to South Florida.
It was a thrill to be in front of an audience again, but tiring. Let me tell you something, man. It's up in front of a crowd for 2 hours, question and answer, lively group. Shout out to my peeps at Bank United. They were amazing. It was really fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I know that you had a great day yesterday, traveling back and forth and getting to be in front of the audience was great. I want to give a shout out to a couple people yesterday, but had a great virtual coffee with Matt from Fidelis, who is starting next week. That dude is awesome. We spent a half hour together talking about sports, talking about process. We talked about people, process, and priorities for so long. It was phenomenal. So he said he was going to join. I hope that he jumps in this morning and gets to see us, but I wanted to make sure that I gave him a shout out because it was really a phenomenal 30 minutes of conversation.
He was fired up that we know LT. So LT, if you're listening, jump in, please.
He is a big Giants fan, but it's really cool. Really great conversation. Good morning, Eddie Dykes. Good morning, Christy Turris, Jeremy Turris, Kerry Green, Deborah D. Robinson, Christian White. Good morning to everybody shuffling in this morning. Glad to be here with you. Shay, let's wake everybody up with some wake-up music.
Wake up, everybody! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wake up! Come on! Come on! Wake up, everybody! Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking, top of thinking ahead. Come on now.
So I like to point out great moments when they happen. And yesterday, during the while we were out, while I was doing my speech, we broke for lunch, and it was a buffet lunch, and everybody's sitting there. And I started to just a conversation during the lunch, and then the next thing you know, Jerry Latrento, who is one of my favorite leaders, gets up and starts serving cookies to all of the senior leaders that were in the room that day, yesterday. And I called him out on it. I said, dude, how many other leaders are willing to serve and put themselves in that kind of situation? So think about today when you go about doing what you do. Are you really there for the people around you? It was a beautiful, beautiful display of servant leadership, and it was all about cookies, man. So
servant leadership. That's really that term is so important, and I think it gets missed in leadership. I think there is the opposite vision that you lead from the back and that you're in the ivory tower and that it's not about the doing. And when we were out with Andy the other day, we were talking about when we first got hired to work at Citi, a thing that set us apart from the rest of our competition who we were in the room with was the fact that we were teaching people how to do it. We weren't just telling them, we weren't just giving them this list. It was we were in the weeds with them, teaching them how to do, how to apply the philosophies that we were talking about. And that's what separates the good from the great, is the servant part of it.
When you see it happen real time, which I did, it just, I thought he was fooling around. I didn't get it initially. Right. And I saw him do it, and he was serving the cookie and having a one-to-one in their eyeballs conversation. He's one of my favorite leaders. He's always throwing books my way. I'm throwing books his way. He's the guy that got me started in my speaking career. So blessed, honored. Way to go, Jerry Latrento. Shout out to you.
So we're not going to talk about cookies anymore, but we are going to talk about some sweets because today is National Jelly Bean Day. And for those of you who have never seen Tropic Thunder, This is a great jelly bean scene. Show me jelly beans.
Yeah, baby, come on. Taste it.
You doing good?
Fucking nothing, man. It's I'm eating jelly beans.
Oh, I love jelly beans. Can I please?
No, you can't have any fucking jelly beans. They're mine. You think you're the only one that gets sick when he doesn't have his jelly beans? Boundaries, man.
Great scene.
Good.
Great scene.
I have a
But
question for you. I have a question for you. What's the difference between jelly beans and licorice? Is licorice in a jelly bean?
I have actually the difference between the actual candy itself. I have no idea what's the difference and how they're made. It's got to be like gelatin and sugar all put together. But there are far more jelly bean flavors than there are licorice flavors. There's no doubt about that. So the top 21 jelly bean flavors in America, I had no idea that buttered popcorn was going to come in at the top of the list. That blew my mind. Cinnamon makes sense to me. Black licorice makes sense to me. All of those I've seen before. Bubblegum, root beer, I've seen before. But the buttered popcorn coming in number one, mind-blowing for me.
Cotton candy is a winner, though. Cotton candy is, it's because I don't want to eat real cotton candy. So jelly bean cotton candy sort of gives you the taste and the whole thing, man. So very cool.
I love that. And actually, so I think the cotton candy actual jelly bean, the fact that it's like got all the little colors in it, looks different too. Yeah, it's different. It's different in the bag.
So
it definitely stands out.
I don't remember where, but there was a store that had like a wall of jelly beans, and you would just scoop them into a bag and you'd take the flavors you want. I remember doing that often, similar to like M&M's, an M&M store, a bulk candy store, and that was always fun. But it just shows you packaging. The cotton candy one does stand out.
Yeah, 1,000%. You can see it clearly. And I think, I've been doing, like on Fridays, I've been posting about food. Like we had a topic about peanut butter and jelly and ketchup on our show. And I've put out posts about that have created great conversations within the comments. The whole point in knowing that today is National Jelly Beans Day is if you have a virtual coffee with somebody, just asking them, hey, do you mess with jelly beans? Like, are you a jelly bean person? Do you eat them? Do you like them? Maybe that leads you to another conversation about what their favorite candy is. And then you can gift them a gift basket of their favorite candy. That's what virtual coffees are about. I think people get lost.
So wait a minute. Yeah. April Connor, this is fantastic. When you talk about CBD, all food matters. All food, man. Peanut butter, jelly, ketchup, jelly beans, licorice, man. It don't matter, man. Just.
But I had a conversation about this yesterday that like people get confused when we talk about our sales process of like having a virtual coffee and getting to know somebody. And we're like, well, how do I have that conversation? What do I talk about? These are the things you talk about. You talk about what people might care about to get to what really matters to them in order to build that relationship.
You got it, man. Dorcas gets she gets a shirt for this one because there's
the gross flavors.
Flavors, man.
Toilet water is the worst. So again, just a little thing that can spark a conversation that can send you off and, having a conversation about what matters to someone.
An interesting tidbit came up yesterday, and that tidbit was, you don't only have virtual coffees with people on the outside, having virtual coffees with people on the inside and finding out something personal about them. So, if your service department, your credit department, any of that kind of stuff, getting to know people is a winning habit.
For leaders, it's non-negotiable, in my opinion, because if you are a leader, you are a coach. And in order to be able to coach someone, you have to have trust from that person. And the only way to have trust with someone is to build a relationship. And that person knows that that you care about who they are, not just about what you can do for them in the organization. So I'm with you 1,000%.
It was a great point that came up because, if you want something from somebody, or if everybody wants something from somebody, and you're the one that asked them about their kid playing softball, you move up the ranks in terms of importance because You make them feel good. They matter, not their job. Well, who they are matters, and that's what we talk about all day long. So
there's also a great rule that goes with this, because if you surface level ask somebody how their family is doing, and they respond back to you, and you move on to the next question or the next topic, they don't feel like you're truly invested. They don't know that it's genuine and authentic. The rule of 3 questions is the real way to get to that. So if you ask about somebody's family and they give you something back, now it's your job to go in and ask why, ask how. You need to ask 2 follow-up questions to that personal piece of content that you got back from them in order to truly, really invest.
Mary Beth makes a great point. She just learned the favorite flavor of her 7-year-old. That makes the relationship better. So, by doing and sharing and talking through these things, you understand that everything revolves around the people. And the more you know about the people, the better off you are.
So we love to celebrate greatness on this show. We love to recognize the great people across industries, across platforms. Today is someone's birthday who definitely embodies greatness. It is one of our favorite actors, Jack Nicholson's birthday. He turns 84 today, which is mind-blowing. So I want to take us through some of our favorite scenes of Jack Nicholson and talk about some of them. And I got your favorite for sure in here. So show me the first one, Shay.
For sure.
I still don't believe he was a cop. I don't believe it.
The cops are saying he's a cop, so I won't look for the cop. Are you soft, Fitz? When I tell you to dump a body in the marsh, you dump him in the marsh. Not where some guy from John Hancock goes every Thursday to get a fucking blowjob! Don't laugh! This ain't reality TV!
He's just so invested in every character. When you see the breadth of what he's done, who he's done it with, and is he the greatest of all time? You got De Niro, you got Pacino, but he sits right on that throne.
Just greatness recognizes greatness, and I think it's the same conversation when you talk about athletes, but the breadth of work, the broadness of the characters that he plays. Shay, show me the next Jack Nicholson.
Here's Johnny.
So
I just shit myself.
a classic scary movie. So The Departed, which is a mob crime where he plays a very serious classic horror where he's the villain. Shay, show me the next one, because there's a point that I want to make about this next movie.
You hear me too?
Yeah, you bad. Well, I'll be goddamn, Chief.
And they all think you're deaf and dumb.
Jesus Christ. You fooled him, Chief. You fooled him. You fooled them all. God damn.
What are we doing in here, Chief? Huh? What's us 2 guys doing in this fucking place? Let's get out of here. Out.
Canada.
these son of a bitches know what hit them.
So would you say that that movie is what really pushed him to the top of the actor field?
Probably. It won all kinds of awards. Here's a trivia question. Somebody gets this, they get to pick their on the ball swag. We now have Tell Me Something Good shirts. The question is, what famous actor directed that movie?
Excellent question. A point I want to make about that movie is that Jack Nicholson did 30 movies before he got to that one. 30. He was in the business for 15 years before he got to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So the amount of work that went into him getting there. Nice job, Lloyd.
Attaboy,
Lloyd. Great job.
Lloyd for 200.
Nice. Michael Douglas is the producer.
Right. Sorry.
Right. So just understanding the amount of work that goes into it, the amount that he's done. I would definitely want to get to these next clips, though. So, Shay, show me the next ones.
I want you to go down to the Globe, follow that reporter Knox, take your camera, see what he knows about this Batman. And Bob, remember, you are my number one guy. Yes, sir.
Amazing role. The guy who he was imitating, named Palance.
Yes,
Mob boss.
Correct. And I remember growing up, you would quote that to me all the time. But I'm my number one guy. But that is not the scene that sticks out to me, especially when we talk about salespeople and how Batman, the original Batman, relates to salespeople. Shay, show me the next Joker scene.
Boo. Hold on.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
It's awesome.
Where does he get those wonderful toys? And how that relates to sales is you still have a window to follow up with video and get that reaction from people. Yesterday, I had 4 virtual coffees, all 4 people that I had not met before. I followed up with all 4 with a video. 100% loved the video. 100%. Everybody got that reaction. Thank you for the video. Love the video. You want to stand out to people, use the new toys and show up differently. And then I think, obviously, we have to show that.
While you're talking video, give everybody a hint. We are going to announce we're picking a date where we will have a course similar to Learn LinkedIn Like a Pro. It'll be Learn Video Like a Pro.
That's right. And similar to what we did in the beginning of the year where we taught video with Vidyard, but it's time again to help people move forward. But we can't talk about Jack Nicholson without showing this scene.
Colonel. You snotty little bastard.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
If Lieutenant Kendrick gave an order that Santiago wasn't to be touched, then why did he have to be transferred? Colonel, Lieutenant Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do.
Object!
And when it went bad, you cut these guys loose!
Your Honor!
You had
Counsel, I
markets
hold you
inside
in
a phony
contempt.
transfer.
Your Honor!
You doctored the logbook.
Damn it, Cappy!
You coerced the doctor.
Consider
I'm
yourself in
asking you.
contempt.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Could be the best scene in any movie, anytime. You know, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. And you know what? Every time someone says, hey, could you join the call? I go, you want
You
need me on that call.
So not only does that line relate to sales, but you want the truth. I think you need the truth. You can't handle the truth. But the fact of the matter is that when you're in sales or when you're in leadership, everybody should get the truth. Don't sugarcoat it. People respect you more. People look at you differently. You earn trust. You earn rapport. You build true relationships when you're willing to stand and deliver the truth to somebody. So I had a whole bunch of other content that I was going to go into today because today is Earth Day and Earth, Wind, and Fire, and we were going to talk about energy. But I think this was a great show where we talked about how to leverage jelly beans in sales conversations and get to what people matter, how all of the work that goes into being successful, the toys in sales, the truth in sales. I think it's a great place to leave it.
I think you're absolutely right. Quick shout out to Dre Garcia. I will see you in Atlanta. I speak to a whole group, 100 plus in Atlanta on Monday. So I'm super jacked. I'll be coming to you live from there. But Mark, fantastic show. I will close out with the song because that's a beautiful way to celebrate Earth Day because Earth, Wind, and Fire just gets it going.
So let's end the show with the morning motivational music. Have a fantastic Thursday. Go get after it today, and we will see you guys tomorrow.